We are back. This is the 2015 FF1M Championship. Round 1, the usual starting home of Melbourne, more specifically the Albert Park Street Circuit. And I'm being joined by a very disgruntled James Whiteley after his shambolic 2014 season.
Alright.
And someone who is probably very hungover after winning the 2014 Championship for the driver, Courtney Cass.
Hey up.
From Shake and Bake. What are your expectations for this coming season? Because it's been very, very close in testing.
I expect the unexpected.
That's a very succinct summary. And what about you, Mr. Whiteley?
Something not as shambolic as last season. I mean, I'm not 100% on hard tyres, so that's a step in the right direction for me.
Yeah.
It's a shame because you did do a lot of development into those hard tyres.
Yep.
And those hard tyres don't exist now.
Yep. Story of my life.
So the practice sessions, the first practice saw Sebastian Vettel top the first session, and then session 2 was topped by Väinö Kimminen, who is Tornado's test driver. There is a look at the circuit. Won the past 2 seasons by Gajera. Last time out was a very controversial one for Lewis Hamilton after flipping Vettel at turn 3.
I mean, I can laugh at it now that Vettel won in the end, but if he hadn't won, I would have been a little bit upset by that.
Absolutely. Right, before the qualifying results come up, who do you both reckon is going to be on pole? Because I bet you're going to get it wrong. I can see James looking at the cheat sheet.
Let's go with Grosjean.
You're going to go Grosjean.
I think it's going to be Cooper Lee.
Cooper Lee, the Mitchell rookie. Well, the Mitchells have been very quick in testing, but you're both wrong. Because, wait until it comes up, because, well, I did not expect this at all. It's taken a while to come up. We may be having technical difficulties, but it'll come up eventually. One team has also had a shocker.
I think I might know who that team is.
Who do you reckon?
Does it begin with E and start with and end with XLI?
Another E. Nope, but look who's on pole. It is Daniel Ricciardo.
You actually got me excited then.
Daniel Ricciardo on pole position, the former Shake and Bake driver, alongside Felipe Massa. Yes, absolutely. I did not expect that. And Amol Mitchell row 2 with Cooper Lee 3rd and Hülkenberg 4th. There's the other Meister, your former driver Kimi Räikkönen, up in 5th position. And there's the 2 championship protagonists from 2014 on row 4. And then we got Sergio Perez on row 5 alongside Thomas Gonzalez with Nico Rosberg 11th and Carlos Sainz 12th. Then it's an all FJR row 7 with Kevin Magnussen ahead of Charles Pic. Not by much, although Pic is running the soft tyres. There's another rookie, Itsuki Yoshida. Already rumours that his seat is under threat by Kamui Kobayashi. Now, you've noticed that on the top, look at who's on the back row when it comes up. Both Gajeras.
Oh.
What?
I really cannot explain that one. But yeah.
Eat that gee.
It just comes up with a little message, Guy has left the chat.
And obviously you can hear that both Courtney and Whiteley are both devastated by that. So 5 lights are on, and in a moment 5 lights go out. Who's got the best start? Is it Ricciardo or is it Massa as they approach the first corner? Ricciardo's had a good start for the Andrew Racing, and that's a new camera angle into the first corner. There's a flying Gajera going up there into a long way up. That's Jean-Eric Vergne moving from last. I'm going to repeat that. Last for Gajera. Last on the back row, but he's up to 13th with an absolute demon outbraking manoeuvre in the first corner. We are looking at Valtteri Bottas, and I think a Tornado's had a bad start, as Ricciardo is pulling away rapidly from Cooper Lee, who's up into 2nd position.
I love the look of those.
Those are the 2 Meisters.
The Meisters.
Yeah, the white and purple. That's a good livery, is that?
It's the old Jag, isn't it? The Jag, I can't remember what it was called now.
It was the
some
silk,
old Le Mans one.
Silk cut Jag, wasn't it? Yeah, I didn't notice that until one of you actually mentioned that. So that's a good livery, and the newest team on the grid currently occupy 3rd and 4th with Räikkönen ahead of Massa.
We've really seen purple cars, have we?
No, I mean, have we ever seen a purple F1 car? As Räikkönen has a look at Cooper Lee going into turn number 13. This is the old Melbourne that we're using because they tried to modify it, but obviously...
We haven't even got there yet.
No, COVID is still at large.
You mean the Australian government's still at large? Oh, he went there, got political.
He went there, and I'll make you go there even further if you want more politically charged comments.
Look at this Meister.
Up the inside into turn 1 goes Kimi Raikkonen, up into second position ahead of Cooper Lee. Now it's
My
Felipe.
ex.
Yes, your ex, Kimi Raikkonen.
That Mitchell does look pretty sexy, actually.
The white and green Flymo
Oh,
sponsor.
dear.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
contact. Massa has punted Cooper Lee into a spin, and that is Alonso off as well. And that's going to promote Sergio Perez, Vettel, Sainz, and somebody else up there. So let's see what happens. Massa, well, he had Alonso around the outside, but still Massa shouldn't really have done anything about it. Hulkenberg, it's gone from bad to worse for the Mitchells and the Meisters.
Who did he hit there? Was it Felipe?
It was Felipe Massa, I believe. Or was it Kimi No, it was Felipe Massa in third. So,
He's made a right hash of that one.
and look in the background, Vettel just took what will now be fourth position off of Sergio Perez. So the world champion it was third place, actually, I beg
Crikey.
your pardon.
I'm 6th.
Yes, Lewis Hamilton's making his way up the order and he's challenging Carlos Sainz for fifth position. What on earth is going to
Oh,
happen
look
as
at
we
this.
go
Look
into
at this.
here?
Got all the hallmarks of an early shower, hasn't it? Oh,
But that's Massa taking a position away from Lewis Hamilton, going into the fast chicane.
God's
And
sake.
behind was Yusuke Yoshida as well, the newcomer. And that's going to be
Uh-oh.
contact.
Oh,
Oh dear. That's a spinning Sainz. And is anybody going to collect the GRM?
No.
The other
Oh,
GRM.
The other GRM,
God.
yeah.
Oh, God.
Dearie me, that's
That's the saddest thing you've ever seen, isn't it?
not quite what you mean by team orders. But that's both GRMs plummeting down the order.
I'd
And
love it if Gunter Steiner was a team boss after that one.
now something else happened here because we've got Lewis Hamilton
Oh, go on,
challenging
Lewis. Go on,
Massa and Perez. Oh,
Go on,
that's-
lad. He's done him like a kipper.
He's currently doing him. Now he's done him. So that's fifth position, but is Massa going to
Eat that.
have a go at that back? He's enjoying this, is James.
Liquid racing.
And there may be some liquid coming out of Itsuki Yoshida if he's not careful, because he's got Kevin Magnussen all over the back of him for seventh position.
I thought, what's that? What's the red and yellow livery? That's pretty cool.
That's my car. That's the FJR.
Ah,
Yeah, I got a new Sunburst livery with music sponsors.
you jammy. Oh, that's pretty cool, is that?
And here's a view of it. They can see Sennheiser on the nose box as it's Yoshida versus Massa going into...
Oh dear.
Big amount of understeer for Magnussen.
Did you make that yourself? Oh,
I had a lot of help from Guy from that.
hi, Guy.
James Whiteley wants a livery. And Grosjean's out of the race already. That's a
dear.
retirement to the puncture as Vettel sets a new fastest lap on the third lap of the race as he looks to close in on Kimi Raikkonen. 4.5
Could you drink that cup of tea any louder?
5 point. It was 5.4 seconds. Now it's 4.9 as a Mitchell is making his way back up the order, challenging a Tornado. Is that Cooper Lee on Gonzalez? I wonder, or is it Fernando Alonso? I'll need a closer look. It looks like Cooper Lee, and there's Valtteri Bottas having a look at the Australian. Round the sweepers of 7 and 8 into the chicane, which is now gone.
Cool. He's sizing him up. Uh-oh.
And Cooper Lee hanging on round the outside, but Valtteri Bottas has got the favourable inside line.
He's no Stagger Lee. Oh,
No, he's Cooper Lee. In fact, there's another Mitchell coming up. So Bottas needs to make the move, otherwise Mitchell are going to make his life very difficult, rounding the final corner.
the AI make this difficult for themselves sometimes, don't they, with the lines they take. Oh dear.
And it's Hulkenberg versus Lee now into the first corner. Lee's not making it easy. He's not making it easy at all.
Very thin nose cone
On the
that
Mitchell?
car. Yeah.
On the Mitchell, yeah.
Is that the McLaren?
There's no horns on that, so I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, what's this?
Fernando Alonso versus Jenson Button into the first corner.
Eat that sunshine.
Ooh, giving his arse a bit of a shave. But now that's slowed Alonso up, and now he's got Valtteri Bottas to contend with. Into the third corner.
No one takes an Exolite. Oh,
But Bottas can take a Tornado. Bet you're pleased about that, and Tobias.
boo.
Round the 5th corner goes Bottas versus Alonso.
Where the hell is Button?
Right in front.
No, I meant in terms of, because I can't see him in the top. Where is he in the
He's
standings?
16th.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not all doom and gloom for X-Light because Hamilton is up in 5th position. Ricciardo, oh, here comes a move. Not quite, but in fact, Button is still ahead, so that's a position safe for another corner. It is Ricciardo in the lead on lap 9 by 3.9 seconds. There's a lock-up there from Bottas going into the penultimate corner. Now he's going to be under pressure from Alonso.
Was that Cooper Lee?
That's Cooper Lee's crashed it on the pit straight somehow. Now what on earth has happened there?
That can't be actually an accident. He must have had a mechanical failure and he's done the thing where he just smashes into the wall. It's classed it as an accident, maybe?
That's one Mitchell gone. Oh, hang on. Oh, no.
Oh, no, yeah, he's
just
just...
He's did a Schumi in... No, didn't Schumi do that in 2006?
Yeah, 2006. And then he's having a little bit of a seizure by the look of it.
Yeah, he sort of limped it just so he can complete the lap.
That's a brave Marshall. Get out, just go away.
There's an angsty Whiteley in the commentary box as Valtteri Bottas is having a look at Jenson Button into the 3rd corner. That's a position gain for the GRM.
You're just not trying hard enough.
Is that what you said to your aero department?
That was a tyre development team.
Yeah, because you had access to the softer tyres in testing this time.
Did you use them?
He did actually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, made use out of them in testing, set some fairly decent lap times. His car did break down a lot though. As he slurps his tea noisily. Vettel is closing in on
pretty quick that. I got some pretty quick times from Hamilton. Not that testing means anything.
Yeah, Vettel's definitely got the pace on Raikkonen because he's now just less than 2 seconds behind the Flying Finn as Ricciardo is due in the pits this lap. Race leader Daniel Ricciardo on the soft tyres. That might explain some of Andrew Racing's...
Oh, okay.
That's the pit line, yeah.
I thought that was all the hallmarks of an early shower, to quote Mrs. Brundle.
Mrs. Brundle?
Mrs. Brundle.
Oh, right.
Well, just the one person.
So have you been hanging around with Mrs. Brundle? What's going on?
She's called Liz, I think, isn't she? Liz
Don't
Brundle.
know.
Yeah, she is actually, yeah. Into the pit box, which...
A bit too much about that, aren't
Yeah, I'm a bit suspicious here.
Danny Rick.
Have a word with Martin about that one. That's 20 laps of fuel going on board, and that should take him to about lap 31, I'd say, because the fuel went down to 2 laps until empty. He's rejoined ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Into the pits for his first pit stop of his career is Itsuki Yoshida, possibly his last if Kamui Kobayashi is going to be racing at the next race.
That's not what you want to hear before your first race, is it?
It was, yeah. I feel like on the second car, they should just be, on the air intake, just below the air intake and above the driver's helmet. There should just be a little decal of the sword of Damocles.
Yeah, hanging over you.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, your number 2 seat could have that as well.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's on my number 2 seat.
Sorry. We'll cut that.
The Meister is in the lead, first ever race.
Do you know what's made me think? Just how awesome a metallic purple livery would be. Just an all metallic. Oh, look at that. I love that. It's really cool. He's pitting.
Kimi Raikkonen and...
Metallic purple with a bit of red on it as well would be cool.
I'll have to get on the old F1 team builder.
I did one on GT Sport.
Was it purple?
Yeah, it's purple with a little bit of red on the side. Just plug in myself there.
Sebastian Vettel takes the lead for the moment as Raikkonen makes his first pit stop. And again, that's nothing like as much fuel as Ricciardo, so it's definitely 3 stopping. As out of the pits in 6.4 seconds comes Kimi Raikkonen. Now he's rejoined ahead of Kevin Magnussen, so that's 6th position. There is Kevin, who's got... Could you drink a bit quieter, please? As we zoom, you drink it, you don't...
You have to let the world know you're drinking it.
You don't inhale it.
And there's Sebi boy.
Also due in the pits this lap. So we'll see if new tyres is the bigger effect or the lower fuel. Because Ricciardo was the first one to pit.
You've been busy with your livery over this winter.
AJ, have you? I just got AJ to do it.
Has it actually changed?
I commissioned Sir AJ. I feel like it's. I
Oh, the
feel
rear
it's
wing
slightly
looks. I
different.
think the rear wing looks a bit different. I was being sarcastic, but actually looking at it, I think the rear wing is.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Obviously, retain the Love Honey sponsorship.
It's a pretty cool livery, actually. I quite like it.
It's unique.
Yeah.
I like the rear wing on it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
So as Vettel comes into his pit box, which clearly match.
Oh, you've nicked my pit crew.
And 4.8 seconds, that's a quick stop. And again on a 3-stop. On the hards, interestingly.
I feel like we've had this conversation. I almost dare not say it, but is that Ferrari?
We've definitely had
We've definitely had this conversation. Yeah. Let's swiftly move on. Right.
Felipe Massa comes into the pits, and that's only just ahead.
Meisters behind him.
Just ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. So I
Sorry,
think
not one of the Meisters. It's a Mitchell, isn't it?
that is a Meister.
Oh, he's a Meister.
You're right the first time.
Cut that.
No. So Sebastian Vettel ahead of Kimi Raikkonen and Ricciardo ahead of the pair of them. It's Sergio Perez who briefly leads, but expecting him to make a pit stop very shortly, as out of the pits comes Thomas Gonzalez into the path of a GRM, but they take the pit exit differently now. They don't keep
This
tight
could
to
be
the...
close. He could get a. I think he's going to go for it. I think he's going to make it.
Sensing the Tobias Rage quit coming up. Oh, no. They've kept it clean.
Kept it clean.
No barrel rolling this time.
Kept it mean and kept it clean.
And out the pits comes Perez, so he's one of the last to 3-stop. And then ahead of Massa. You like that livery, don't you?
Yeah. Bit less white, I feel. Sorry, Meister.
Yeah, I don't know who did the livery with that one.
It was Guy.
Was it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice work, Guy, but a little yes white next time.
Maybe he should concentrate on his own team instead of making liveries. Sorry about that.
Was that a burn at me or was that a burn at Guy?
It was a burn at Guy.
Alright, okay, that's fine. Oh, but also please make me a livery, Guy.
Jenson Button into the pits, and you can see Ricciardo and Vettel, former teammates last season.
This is a bit personal, this one.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden, as Ricciardo knew that he wasn't going to be driving at Shake and Bake, he's had the shackles undone, and now he's actually performing well.
Well, you know,
I don't know what you're looking at me. I don't know what you insinuated then when you looked at me as you said that.
You know exactly what I'm insinuating.
Well, he's able to actually communicate on the radio now that his gimp mask has been removed.
Yeah, we made him drive with the ball gag the entire of the season.
Well, this could be tasty.
You will not have the drink.
Did you see my lap? Did you like it? Moving swiftly on. Right, so...
Well, it's been a good lap for Vettel so far. He's on 0.6 of a second up on this lap, and that's before they've reached the final finish line. Down to 1.9, so Vettel closing in on Ricciardo for the race lead.
This is going to get a bit spicy, I think.
I'm not a Vettel fan after he single-handedly took out my team in Singapore last year, so I'm rooting for Ricciardo.
Didn't really affect your season though, did it? To be honest. You just gave me an absolute death stare.
So as they cross the first sector point, Vettel is a 10.5 up on this lap so far. As we look at Valtteri Bottas having a look at what I assume is Charles Pic in the...
Oh, what happened to that? Now there's a name that sort of just dissolved into mediocrity.
Charles Pic.
Yeah, he was... didn't last very long, did he?
In real life one.
Two seasons, yeah.
No, that 2010, 2011, something like that.
Gonzalez versus Pic into the first corner, and I can tell it's Pic because he is on the soft tyres for this race.
Why did he sign Charles Pic?
He had a lot of seasons in FF1M, hasn't he?
Yeah, like a record 8 seasons, and he was a consistent front runner. But I mostly signed him because I've got a load of music sponsorship, and I wanted someone named after a plectrum.
Oh, for God's sake.
To the nearest 10th, he was equal with Magnussen and sharing row 7.
Yeah.
And I'm not expecting to have a particularly good season.
Development season, is that what you're saying?
It is probably going to be a development season
It's a
for me.
Coulthard special, is it?
And Charles Pic coming under
Next
pressure
season I will
from...
beat Mika.
That is Thomas Gonzalez.
I do like that tornado, actually.
Very shiny, it's very metallic.
Oh god.
And it's nearly very damaged. And there's a Willows coming up to the pair of these, so Shalpick is being a bit of a roadblock at the moment.
He's been a bit of a PRICK instead of a PIC. Sorry.
So completing their 20th lap, Gonzalez in the slipstream as they approach the first corner.
You see, they get out of the slipstream way too soon. Oh, nice, tasty.
Now
I mean, this game is about 20 years old at this point, isn't it?
I mean, to be fair, it's better than our Factor in terms of its AI. I mean,
here's Stoffel Van Dorn, another one making his first race. As Pick locks up a little bit. And Van
always makes
Dorn...
me want a Stroop waffle for some reason whenever I hear
Van Dorn, yeah.
Stoffel. Makes me want one of the, the from like the Dutch.
Yeah, with the caramel in. Yeah,
always makes me want a Stroop waffle whenever I hear
Whoa,
his name.
Oopsie Daisy, what on earth was that, Charles?
Well, that was a bit crap, wasn't it?
I think you meant to sign Charles Leclerc. You accidentally signed Charles Pick. It's like you wrote the wrong name on the contract.
Leclerc's not available just yet.
It is I, Leclerc.
I think 3 seasons Leclerc will be available.
Only people who've seen Hello Hello will get that joke. Anyway.
Well,
Moving on.
this is getting tasty now. 6
It is,
tenths,
yeah.
innit? I don't know what kind of delta you need to be able to make an overtake, though.
Well, the slipstream is always pretty powerful in this, isn't it? So, to be honest, and maybe not this lap, but I could see it. I could see it happening next lap.
I could also see it ending in tears.
I can also see Yoshida coming under pressure from Nico Rosberg anytime soon. They were just 0.3 of a second as they crossed the line.
The defending drivers always defend thin air on this, don't they? So it's always easier for the attacking driver, generally.
I think Yoshida's also defended from Kamui Kobayashi.
And this is for the race lead.
Like a wrecking ball. Oh, not quite.
Get out. As Vettel thought about making a move going into 13, but Ricciardo defending it and Vettel thinking better of it. Now, is he gonna...
I actually don't mind that song, you know.
It's great.
Yeah, Wrecking Ball. As pop songs go, it's alright.
It's not bad, yeah.
Anyway.
It's just dull, I find it.
Oh, look at that. This drop back there. Like, it's got some top line speed on it as
So I've given in the cheat sheet and it's still struggling.
Just a minute.
I'm pretty sure it hasn't changed from last season.
Is the Andrew Racing?
That's the one.
Has it? Andrew was the same last season, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a new livery.
Yes, it's hence my slight.
Yeah, to be honest, I can't remember either.
They've also got a new engine in the back of the Andrew Racing. They've got the customer Climax.
Yeah, they've ditched Megatron for some reason.
Yeah.
Can't imagine why. It was a reliable
It's
engine.
almost like some incompetent was the,
Well, here's an interesting little ditty. Let's have a look at Yoshida first.
Yoshida.
Getting tapped by Rosberg.
He's out.
Out for a spin. And Rosberg spun it as
yeah.
well, and that's put Magnussen up to 7th position. And Rosberg under pressure from a GRM as we go back to Vettel. Now, here's a little tidbit from qualifying that I found, which was the top 6 places were all occupied by Climax. Because you've got the Climax in the Andrew, you've got the Climax in the Meister and the Mitchell. And
yeah.
And
so what you're saying is there was peak performance there.
a Gajira in the top 8. Jean-Eric Verne is now avoiding the chaos. He's now moved his way up to 8th.
There we go. This is familiar. This is familiar.
There's contact, and Vettel has shoved Ricciardo off the road into the lead. And Ricciardo stopped because there's that Kimi Räikkönen up into 2nd.
You see, when Vettel does it, it's fine.
Yeah, but when it's Vettel on the receiving end, no. And Yoshida out. So is that post-collision damage? Possibly,
No.
it's suspension problems.
Possibly reliability, that.
So we have now hit half distance.
Built the car out of Vettel's spares. That's why.
It's basically.
No, that's the spares that have been carried over from Maldonado in 2013.
Yeah, it's basically like what was the team that Perry McCarthy drove for?
Andrea Moda.
Basically, just Andrea Moda. It's like
Sent him out on
when he said,
suspension.
they sent him out on broken suspension. Then when he got back, the guy, I can't remember his name, just looked him in the eye and said, "Yeah, we know."
Well, who was it? Sassetti?
Sassetti, yeah.
Andrea
yeah.
Sassetti.
He got arrested at Spa, didn't he? I think.
Yeah. Not for bringing the sport into disrepute.
No, but for some dodgy dealing.
Is it money laundering?
Something like that, yeah.
Why
No,
are we-
it
why
was.
are we
Was it
looking at
forging? It was forging bills, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
We're looking at Vettel because his pit indicator is yellow, which means he's due in the pits this lap. And with Raikkonen having just pitted, Vettel needs to get the hammer down a little bit in order to maintain a comfortable gap. An array of pit stops as Nico Hulkenberg is in the pits. And meanwhile, what else have we got? Ricciardo second.
And into the pit lane.
Oh, it's Vettel.
I do worry that I've not done enough reliability testing after Yoshida. Because I had a pretty reliable
Hang
car
on,
last season.
did you do any reliability to it?
No, I did. So, I mean, last year, last year my car was fairly reliable, but so I thought I could probably skimp on reliability a little bit. But after seeing Yoshida,
I'm all about power and no reliability. That's usually my ethos.
well, that's well, that's fair enough.
Why I'm so successful.
Yeah.
There's one more thing that I can point out from qualifying is that the highest placed manufacturer was only 6th.
Really?
Yes. And that was the Tornado of Fernando Alonso.
So this is Ricciardo, who I can confirm drives for Andrew Racing.
And it's the pits. Now, can he make some inroads into Kimi Raikkonen? Because Ricciardo should now be in a net 3rd place as Sergio Perez comes into the pits, as does Felipe Massa. So it's pretty much a 3-stop race all round. And that is confirmation of 3rd place. So it is Vettel, Raikkonen and Ricciardo. That's your true order.
Oh, Hammy's up to 4. Oh, that's because...
If we have a quick glimpse at Hamilton, I think he does have his 2nd stop to make, but he's still looking quite strong for points as we look at Nico Hulkenberg versus Jenson Button going into the first corner. And it's 14th place for the recovering Nico Hulkenberg, a race that promised quite a lot for Mitchell, but all went very, very wrong.
If Jensen comes in after the race and complains of understeer, I'm going to kick him in the guards.
Ooh, nearly wheel-to-wheel contact between Pick and Bottas.
One thing I noticed about Ricciardo, he's on softs.
He is on softs,
I mean,
yes.
he's got a lot of pace considering that literally no...
Yeah, but will it last, though?
Well, I was just thinking just before this season, we haven't run any softs of this year's softs at all, so there's not much development on those tyres, and those are the tyres that are most susceptible to needing development to have performance, right?
Something like that.
You need to do the most testing on the softer compound tyres, I think.
So it could be a mistake.
Well, I wasn't necessarily saying that. I'm just saying that the Andrew looks pretty good in that case, because if that's the pace that he's got on the softs already, as the season goes on, and you do more testing, it'll probably get even better.
So the gap so far between Raikkonen and Ricciardo is 2.8 seconds. We'll keep an eye on that as this 3rd stint goes along. As we look at Jean-Eric Vergne, that is a Gajera.
How the hell have I ended up behind Massa?
Pit stop.
Oh yeah.
So Massa's jumped Hamilton in the pits, but Hamilton has got fresher tyres, so I'd expect him to catch up a bit. The gap 2.6 between Raikkonen and Ricciardo. That is a Tornado that we are on board with. That is Fernando Alonso chasing Jean-Eric Vergne for that 10th position. And Gonzalez has worked his way up to 8th position. And I think it's Antonio Felix da Costa in 9th place. Oh, Rosberg out of the race with an engine problem. So Willow's not having a good start to the season.
It's because I shot his car on the way past like a Tuscan Raider.
And goes from...
Held it,
alright.
held it.
That's given Da Costa a bit of a break.
He has a front wing made of titanium, that bloke.
Let's see his strength as he... Nope, he doesn't have a go. Oh, goodness me, there's all sorts of action. That's Kubica coming up to Alonso. And then is that Bottas as well? Or is that Carlos Sainz? I need to learn the helmets. and shall pick out of the race, so that's not good development for Judd, because it's either 50% or if Magnussen retires, nothing.
Ouch.
Actually, no, that's changed. Its development is now number of laps rather than number of finishes.
Oh, okay.
So it's not so bad. 2.4, the gap between Raikkonen and Ricciardo, so it's definitely coming down. As Vettel he's pulling away from those two by quite a rate. It's now 12.2 seconds.
Is it a number of laps averaged out across all the cars?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Alonso versus Verne once again. And Kubica versus a GRM once again. So some close battles. Massa versus Hamilton, that's 2.1 seconds, the gap. And Magnussen all on his own at the moment.
Oh, he's miles ahead. 12 seconds.
Vettel.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pulling away quite a lot in this third stint.
Starting to wonder if I should have turned the engines down a little bit.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, but you'd probably, unless you're doing a Merc and you've got them down at about 40, 40% or something.
I honestly actually can't remember what I've got on that.
Ooh, there was a GRM having a good look at Kubica. I'm going to assume that it's Sainz. And who's coming up behind Sainz? Is that Nico Hülkenberg continuing his recovery drive? And where on earth is Kubica going? As he defends nothing. It is Carlos Sainz, and behind Hülkenberg is Jenson Button in 15th position. Could be 13th if these two are not careful, but nope, Hülkenberg... Well, Sainz saw that one coming from Hülkenberg.
Do you know what that car reminds me of? The 2004 Minardi, if it was nice.
Which one?
The 2004 Minardi, which had that little splash of green on the back.
Which car? Sorry,
Let me just look on the cheat sheet.
whatever the professionals are we?
Oh,
the
goodness me, Vettel!
Oh,
That's his suspension.
Right, okay.
Out of the race goes Sebastian Vettel, so the current world champion not having a good start to the season.
Evidently, the suspension is made out of piss, because both my cars have just made it out of Connects.
Made it out.
This is the same corner.
Pretty much, yeah.
Were they both? It was both suspension, wasn't it?
Both suspension. I don't know what's happening there. Like that's. Well, I didn't do a huge amount of reliability
I
testing.
may have had a spanner in there just
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
well,
That's what happens, kids, when you don't do reliability testing.
Ooh.
Always eat your greens.
And this is what happens if you
dear.
don't pay attention to your bloody brakes. As Fernando Alonso... Oh! Kubica versus Alonso. That's both needing a new front wing. So, not a good start to the season. Oh,
I think he's out. Is he?
What?
yeah, that is Kubica. No, it's Verne, actually.
Oh, he's got that going, but I think he's...
That would have been in the spun Verne. That would have been. Kubica still needs a front wing. There he goes.
That's gone well.
And inadvertently holds up his teammate as well.
Yeah.
So we got a Meister in the lead at the moment.
Lucky lad.
I'm trying to remember if a team has ever won their first race.
Well, the first ever FF1M race they will have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, I was like, what are you on about?
Excluding that very fact, held by Air Racing in the Masters era.
Oh, was that Maestro's team?
No, it was a different Andy.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah, there was Maestro Motorsport, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Kimi Raikkonen now. And
Oh,
there's a lock up and
dear.
he's off, and that's going to put Ricciardo back into the lead of the race.
God damn it, Kimi.
And they have been catching up to Raikkonen as well, so I would expect Ricciardo to eke out the gap between himself and Kimi Raikkonen. So there is the Australian in the lead of the race, looking for his... It's either his third career win or his second career win. I think it'll be his third career win if he holds on.
God, Toyota was boring, wasn't it?
Raikkonen needs some new tyres, so he's going to pit first. Now he needs a demon out laps if he's going to have any chance of taking the lead back from Daniel Ricciardo.
Honestly, though, can you think of a team more boring than Toyota?
Livery-wise, or...
Just generally.
Well, they didn't really do much, did they?
No. They had a pretty decent 2009, I remember that. Or 2005 they were alright, and other than that they were just...
There's some side-by-side action between Alonso and Button into the first corner.
But is that Glock, though?
Yeah, Glock was pretty good actually, wasn't it? I think Glock was underrated.
Glock was alright, but
Yeah.
everyone only remembers him for
2008 Brazil, yeah. Not fair, really, because he had some good... I thought that was...
Thought he was going wide again.
Yeah.
He was really good at Singapore, this Glock. Had a bunch of good results there.
He had a horrible crash in Suzuka in 2009, didn't he? And I think that kind of took the sail out of his season, really.
That and joining Virgin.
Yeah, that wasn't wise.
But I don't think he had many other options at that point. Toyota folded, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, Toyota, when it's like the GT, like as a Le Mans team, are quite exciting, like the Toyota GT1 race car. But as an F1 team, it's just...
So into the pits comes Daniel Ricciardo from the race lead. I think this is on the lap after Kimi Raikkonen pitted, so I think Ricciardo should be safe, as out the pits comes nearly a lap down Jean-Eric Verne. And there was another car making a pit stop as well. Can't quite see from that angle. Looked like a Pedersen, actually. No, it wasn't a Pedersen, can't be. Could have been the Willows, could have been Van Dorn. 5.4 seconds is the pit stop. Out of the pits comes Daniel Ricciardo. Where is Kimi Raikkonen? Behind him. Yeah, I would say so. Yep, Ricciardo holds on to the lead and on...
It's about 2 miles?
He's a long way in the lead. And on the 1 lap younger tyres. Should be comfortable, knock on wood. Multiple pieces of wood for Andrew Racing, looking for win number 7, I think, of their career. Not in this.
Don't look at me.
I will have a quick check of that.
I've just checked out since both my cars were retired, so I'll leave it with you guys.
This could be his 6th win, if he holds on to it.
Ever the professional, eh?
It was actually his 10th pole position, was Andrew Racing, in this particular one. Daniel Ricciardo's 2nd pole position. As we have a look at a GRM versus a Mitchell. We've seen quite a lot of GRMs versus Mitchells in this race. Now, is Bottas going to do something about, I assume, Hulkenberg? I think Cooper Lee retired from the race. So it must be Hulkenberg.
If Hamilton doesn't pass Massa, I'm cutting his dreads. Oh.
Oh, dearie me. And spin goes Bottas. But swift rejoin, sort of. Now then.
Yeah. Swift being the operative word there.
And he's sort of...
Yes, he's behind button.
And that's cost him massively.
He's just done it. He's just thought, oh, what's the point?
I think he's just gone a lap down on Ricciardo, because there is Kimi Raikkonen. Here's Verne, and...
Oh.
Not quite. Couldn't get much closer than that without touching. I think this is on the back of Hulkenberg, going around the penultimate corner. And then the final corner. We've got 10 laps to go, just about.
Kimi's only in 5 seconds now.
Yes, but I think Ricciardo must be pulling away. Let's keep an eye on the gap.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if Raikkonen is catching up to him. I think it's...
Oh, oof.
How on earth did they not make contact?
Tears, yeah.
Yeah, the gap's remaining static at 5 seconds between Ricciardo and Raikkonen.
Andrew Racings are looking strong, aren't they, generally?
That's been a big surprise.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting them to be that... They weren't really that hot in testing either.
No.
So they found something on this Albert Park circuit. Because Da Costa is now up in 8th position as well. A shout out to Perez as well. He's had a pretty good race, up to 3rd so far. When on earth did he start? Let's wait for that moment, because Carlos Sainz is challenging Antonio Felix Da Costa for 8th position. Not into the first corner, but could be into the 3rd corner. Got a good slipstream. Now, which way is he going to go? Left or right? It's got to be right. That's the correct decision. And that is in 8th position for Carlos Sainz, so we have got a GRM in the points.
That was smooth. Very smooth.
Capital smooth.
It was a smooth operation. Which Meister are we looking at? Is that Massa?
Oh.
I think it is Massa, or is it Kimi Raikkonen?
It's Kimi, isn't it? It's got the yellow T-cam.
It's got a yellow T-cam. Let's keep an eye on what's
I
happening.
think it's Kimi.
I think it is Kimi. Hard to tell. It is Kimi Raikkonen. That is tragic for Meister, but it does move Massa up into 3rd position, so it's not all doom and gloom for the new team boss, Laura Chung.
And it brings Hambone into 4th as well.
It does indeed, and moves Sergio Perez up into 2nd position for the Pedersen.
Reliability has been a bit of a shocker this race for a lot of teams.
Not for Andrew Racing, as Ricciardo starts his final lap of the race. From pole position, where did Perez start? I was going to find that out. He started 9th on the grid, so that's been a very good drive from the Mexican.
When was Andy's last win?
That would have been Kubica in 2013
Yeah.
Jesus.
at Singapore. So not exactly a dry spell, but at least 1 season and a bit. Yeah, they weren't exactly that quick in testing either, or in the 2 practice sessions, but they've got it together in qualifying, probably thanks to the climax, because
Stop dissing my engines.
Mate, you've only got yourself to blame for those suspension problems.
Yeah, from developing my engine to power. I think
Your engine doesn't power your suspension, Courtney.
That was the joke. It's actually the engine is so powerful that it breaks the suspension.
That's usually my party trick.
Yeah. I think I've skimped on reliability. I think I thought.
Get in. You have my respect.
Just do a left hand.
Yeah. Oh.
So we've got 1 more corner to go.
Told to calm down.
I was saying do the final bit. So at the final corner comes Daniel Ricciardo to take the first win of the season in front of his home crowd as well. That's a very well-deserved win for Andrew Racing. I mean, very fortunate in terms of the unreliability of Vettel, but nevertheless, reliable car equals a winner. And that's his 3rd race win of the season, and alongside we've got Sergio Perez, great drive from him, from 9th up to 2nd, and nice to get a podium on their first ever race, courtesy of Felipe Massa. And his confirmation of that 4th should be Lewis Hamilton once we see the rest of the results. These are new graphics, so I need to calculate how long it'll take. There's Hamilton in 4th position for the Excellite, so first point since Perez in Silverstone last season.
Delighted.
I can hear it. Magnussen in 5th, that was from 13th on the grid as well. I'm pleased with that, actually.
I'll tell you what, you got more points than I have this race. So.
I got more points than Tornado as well. Gonzalez 6th, and then we've got Carlos Sainz 7th, and completing the points, the other Andrew Racing of Antonio Felix da Costa.
I'm joking, it's not too bad. I'll take that. I need more pace though. Jensen, Button.
12th, in other words. And you can see the list of retirements at the bottom. Grosjean, the first retirement of the season, followed by Cooper Lee, Suki Yoshida, Nico Rosberg, Charles Pic, Sebastian Vettel, and then very late on, Kimi Raikkonen. So
there wasn't actually that many retirements, it was just that my cars are shit.
Yeah, you were the only double DNF, weren't you?
Yeah.
Lucky lad.
Yeah, bottom of the constructors.
Yeah, pretty much. So we shall see you for the next race. We go across the pond, many of them, but we go to South America for the Mexican Grand Prix. So from the 3 of us, we shall see you then.
See ya.
Man. Alright,
We weren't massively.
I'm going to call a hit on Yoshida.
Yeah.